A new sci-fi series from HBO, DUNE: The Prophecy, is currently airing, set in the DUNE universe. The story takes place 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides. I'll talk about the series itself next time, but today I'd like to discuss one of the main figures of this story, the legendary Valya Harkonnen, who became one of the most distinguished members of her house, surpassing perhaps even her descendant, Vladimir Harkonnen. Who was Valya Harkonnen, that an entire series is dedicated to her? What secrets did she keep? And how did she influence the Empire and subsequent generations of people? Let's talk about all this in this video. Valya, and that is the full name of the heroine, came from the Harkonnen line and was born when her family was going through tough times. After a massive war with the thinking machines, her great-grandfather, Abelard Harkonnen, was accused of treason for challenging the orders of the higher-ranking Valya Atreides. Due to Abelard's actions, the human army suffered great losses, and as punishment, Valya's great-grandfather was banished from the League of Nobles and exiled with his family to the remote and impoverished planet of Lankiveil. Abelard's descendants grew up hating the Atreides, wishing to avenge them for the disgrace of their house. Valya was born on Lankiveil to parents Virgil and Sonia Harkonnen. From childhood, she, like her other relatives, blamed Valya Atreides for the fall of House Harkonnen and swore to take revenge on House Atreides. Valya had a fairly large family, brothers Griffin and Danvis, and sister Tula. From childhood, Valya demonstrated courage and firmness of character. When Valya and Griffin were 13 and 12 respectively, their father and uncle took the teenagers with them on a boat to the cold northern waters of Lankiveil to track a pack of local whales. The siblings enjoyed this adventure, sailing the restless sea. However, during the journey, Griffin failed to notice a wave that came from the starboard side and unexpectedly washed him overboard. Stunned, he plunged into the icy water, but Valya bravely dived after him and kept him afloat until the boat turned around and the youths were rescued. Griffin remembered this incident for the rest of his life, and since then faithfully followed his older sister, who was destined to elevate House Harkonnen once again. Valya began her career as a promising young apprentice to Abbess Raquella Bertoanirul at the Sisterhood of Rossac, where she was recruited by Sister Arlet, who noticed Valya's potential during a visit to Lankiveil. Although Griffin was sad to part with his sister and their mother outright rejected the girl's aspirations, Valya quickly made her decision and went to the planet of the witch Rossac. There, Abbess Raquella was building a new order of the Rossac sisters, uniting the remnants of the Rossac witches. Raquella discovered unusual abilities in herself, which would later become one of the main forces of the Bene Gesserit sister order. Valya excelled in her training and became one of Raquella's most devoted and talented apprentices. She also closely collaborated with Sister Kari Marcus, one of the last pure-blood witches, studying new medicines and poisons that were used in trials. Valya became one of the few sisters whom Raquella trusted with the secret of the Sisterhood's computers. When Emperor Salvador arrived at Rossac to find the Sisterhood's computers, it was Valya who helped the Mother Superior destroy them. After that, she accompanied Mother Superior Raquella and other sisters to Salusa Secundus to negotiate with Emperor Salvador Corino. But on Salusa, she witnessed how Valya Atreides, whose existence she hadn't even suspected, came to the Emperor requesting protection for his planet Kepler. This reignited the long-standing hatred in Valya's heart, and she began to prepare for revenge. Valya Atreides was even older than Valya's great-grandfather, Abelard Harkonnen. But during his service to the thinking machines, Valya underwent a special procedure that greatly extended his lifespan. Valya informed her brother Griffin that their longtime enemy was still alive. Griffin went to Kepler, where he learned that Valya had gone into even deeper exile in exchange for the safety of the Keplerians. Meanwhile, her fellow sister Dorothea, who sympathized with the Butlerian movement, stole 2 tablets of the secret Rossack drug, which unlocked the other memory, ancestral consciousness along the female line. Dorothea gave one of them to Valya, whom she considered a friend and ally, and offered to take the drug together. While Dorothea became the second in history to become a Reverend Mother, surviving the experience, Valya only pretended to take it, but kept the tablet for the future. After Emperor Salvador disbanded the Rossack Order, dissatisfied with its independence, Valya Harkonnen returned to Lankiveil. Soon after Valya's return, the Harkonnen received news of Griffin's death on Arrakis, where the sister had secretly sent her brother to deal with Vorian Atreides. His body was sent by Vorian Atreides himself with a letter, although he was actually killed by Vorian's sister, Hyla, and he stated in the letter that he was not involved in her brother's death. Valya still believed it was Atreides, declaring that their feud would never end. It was then that Valya decided to finally take the toxic Rossack drug, unlock the other memory, and become the 3rd Reverend Mother. And after surviving, she was among the 28 sisters who followed Rakella to Wallach 9 to restore the Sisterhood. Mother Superior Rakella allowed Valya to go to the planet Ginaz, known for its military schools, to train as a swordmaster. Valya asked for leave there ostensibly to help the Order, but in reality to prepare for the murder of Vorian Atreides, which she had long planned. During this period, Valya Harkonnen perfected her voice technique. She used it to defeat her trainer on Ginaz, Master Placido, thus completing her training. At the same time, Valya sent her sister Tula Harkonnen to the oceanic planet Caladan, after she discovered an entire new branch of the Atreides family dating back to Vorian's relationship with Leronika Terjet during the Butlerian Jihad. Tula, by Valya's order, ingratiated herself with them, married Ori Atreides and killed him, then fled to Chusuk. Meanwhile, Mother Superior Rakella was preparing for death. She summoned Valya, who had become a swordmaster, and her granddaughter Dorothea with her allies to Wallach 9 to try to resolve the emerging split in the Sisterhood. Rakella announced that Valya and Dorothea would become co-leaders after her death. However, when Rakella died, Valya used her newly acquired voice powers to force Dorothea to commit suicide and declared herself the sole Reverend Mother Superior of the reunited order. In the first 3 years of her tenure as Mother Superior, Valya began to change the direction of the Sisterhood's development, giving it a modern form, renaming it Bene Gesserit, and building the first school for future members of the Order. She also took back her sister Tula from Chusuk, where she was nearly killed by Vorian and Ori's brother, Willem Atreides, and tried to rid her of guilt and sympathy for the Atreides, as she now wanted Tula to kill Willem and end the Atreides lineage. Learning from former colleagues on Salusa that Vorian Atreides had gone to the planet Corino, rumors of which he had deliberately spread, Valya followed her enemy there. There, the Oracle Sindel tried to explain to her that Vorian had not actually killed Griffin. When Vorian himself again confirmed it to Valya, she still rejected his words, thinking that he had deceived himself into thinking so, or had arranged his death without actually killing him. Then she fought Vorian Atreides, and her sister Tula fought Willem Atreides. Valya tried to use the voice method on Vorian to stop him, but his mental abilities were too strong for it. At the last moment, Corla, the Queen of Corino, also intervened, ending the battle. Vorian left the planet, but then his ship exploded, and Valya considered him dead. Her revenge was finally complete. Satisfied for the moment, Valya went to Salusa to advise her brother Danvis, who was appearing before Emperor Roderick Corino's court for the first time, then returned to her duties as abbess on Wallach 9. Until the end of her life, Valya ruled the Bene Gesserit order and laid the foundations of its further philosophy and policy. At the same time, she herself never renounced her loyalty to her own house, always caring about its welfare. That's all for me. If you like this video, don't forget to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell. Your activity is the best reward for me. Thank you for your attention. See you soon. Bye.